We'll see what happens with the people that were joined, especially on YouTube. I think Twitch just comes back. I think if you don't, close your stream, it should be okay. YouTube may be a little different, but hopefully we'll get our audience back on YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna go 15 Welcome Center, and we'll call this version 1.0. Save. Okay, so I think for the most part we already kind of have this set up, but let's kind of figure out a game plan. So I'm going to start with composition. We're going to move this over so you guys can see. We'll bring this to this view. Or we'll go to here. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll resave this as a new file under Welcome Center. 15 Welcome Center. And no one's coming back from YouTube. Oh well. Hopefully they do. Okay, so Welcome Center. And then we'll get rid of all this. Okay. Of course I can't. I don't know what's going on with that. It's funny how it's like as soon as I get a bit of confidence, things start going completely wonky, which is what I'm about to, I feel like, experience right now. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Okay, cool. So, I mean, here's the view. It's slightly off. This view is straight on. So we're going to figure out our composition. We may end up moving it slightly off center as we figure out the Welcome Center part. So I don't know why I can't delete stuff here. There it goes. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to bring in a kiosk asset. I haven't quite decided if it's a kiosk or display. Create, change composition of shot. So based on where we put that kiosk, what's going to look good. Generate logo and sign. Add logo, sign to scene. Add details to kiosk. Now for the kiosk, the things that I'm thinking are a 3D hologram of Sputnik. Mission patch, maybe mission details. There was one other thing. Mission patch, Sputnik. Oh, maybe an orbit animation. I don't know. I was thinking about my eyes on Earth, which I have made before. It's like this animation of all these satellites. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe I could bring it in here. But I don't know. It's sort of it was a heavy scene when I made it, so I don't know how optimized it would be. But it would be kind of a cool foreshadow. Eyes on Earth. Okay. So this is really it. And then we're going to render this. Still image, simple. We're not going to turn the rocket on. We're not going to do anything crazy. Oh, and then we just need to decide on. And, honestly, I feel like even this environment outside might be okay. It's kind of like a sunset environment. It's clear. It's like morning. There's still lights on the building. Like, I don't even know if we need to change it. I think it's pretty good. The crazy kind of repeat thing you're getting here is actually the IOR on the glass, which is really interesting. Like, there's some weirdness to the way the lights show up that I'm like, my brain is like, why are the lights up here? But I'm trying to decide whether it's like completely messed up or whether it's actually how the light would reflect. There's like, it's double pane glass with like a very high IOR. It looks really cool, but it just something about the lights that throw me off a bit. But anyway, that's it. Okay, so the kiosk, I'm going to go to cargo because the assets in here are amazing. And I feel like with these buildings, if I go to the same style, I think there's going to be something in here I can use, at least as a base, and then I can decide how much like I can modify the model, etc. to go. So this is the cargo site, which is Kibash 3D. And I think that the kit that I used for this building is Oasis. And I think the building is, yeah, it's the Expo Center. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through and see if there might be something in here that might feel like a cool kind of kiosk. Yeah, here already there's stuff. So these trees are really cool. They're on the outside of the building, and I actually kind of want to put one in the middle of the building. So I may do that. They're already in the kit though, so I don't need them. This canopy thing is interesting. So it's kind of like you could put, oh yeah, so this kind of like says welcome. And then there's steps. So this could really be cool because we could have the hologram here somewhere. And then we could have the information. So these are really interesting. I'm curious what the difference between all these different ones are. Okay, so, So this is a projector. It's kind of funny. It looks so much like the projector I made, which is weird. It's very, very weird. I mean, I guess there's not that much difference, but okay, so that could easily be where we'd put the hologram for Sputnik. I don't know what the difference is, but these ones are though. Like, okay, let's go B and C. I don't see any difference. So I might have to bring these in. That's what it looks like on the back side. It's just the direction maybe. Could also put two of these back to back, which might look really cool. So I think we'll bring one of these in for now. I think this might be just what's on the projector. Maybe that's what's on. The difference in this is color, sound. We're going to change these anyway. Welcome. Okay, so we want this one. So let's bring that in the scene. I think this is just the difference in the projector. So this says core something. I don't know. Maybe we'll just bring in one that has like a symbol. Trees, planters. This is interesting too. I was looking at this earlier. I don't know. This would be very cool for the Eyes on Earth animation. So I bring that in. Sculptures. This is another planter. Banners might be cool. I don't want to go crazy in this room. Because you can go probably over the top, but this is interesting. I'll bring that one in too. What? These ones go like on the ground, or maybe these go like above a... Okay, so these can go like above something. Ball yard, canopy, benches, canopies. Hologram wall is interesting. Okay, so there's some assets here. I think the kiosk, the fact that we have this is about as good as I would want. I can't really imagine anything else. I'm just going to go look at a couple other kits to see, because there's some really cool futuristic stuff in here. So this is Oasis. These are traditional. This is a space one. This is more like Outpost style stuff. Okay, this might be useful. This little kiosk would be cool. Port. Where was the other one? Cyber District is not the style that we're really looking for, but it's always worth checking. Oh, it's cool. Shark Tank. DJ booth. Benches. Again, not the style that we're going for. I've described it previously. The style that I'm going for, it is I couldn't find like a reference name for it. There's different people who have kind of used it, and there's some different terms, but nothing that fit exactly. And it's really simple. It's like not even complicated. It's like, what would happen if nothing changed? Like, meaning technology got better. We still have the same issues that we have now. The world just sort of accelerates on like the current pace. Like, I almost like think like Black Mirror, where you just sort of think about, oh, this is kind of cool. You kind of think about like what happens if current technology plays out the way that it is. So there's no massive change. You know, the world doesn't go through like a huge war. There's no like nuclear fallout. It's not a dystopia. It doesn't go bad, but it also doesn't go well in the sense it's not like utopia, which the previous one we were looking at feels utopic. Kind of everything is super clean. Everything is like beautiful. It's that middle ground, right? It's like, hey, and the word that I came up with through some AI help was neutropia, Neutropia, which the concept there is like it's neutral. It also kind of plays off like the neuron word. I lost all the people on YouTube. It's so crazy. There's a little map. I like this. Anyway, so it's like, it kind of is like not a style that I can pull from, but I think there are certain aspects of it that from different genres that I can pull. There's even some like Atom Punk influence to it. It's got like a little bit of nostalgia built in. These are some really cool assets and buildings. It's like a little throwback. This Atom sculpture is really cool. Grab this. Stage lights. The drone, super cool. I mean, these are so well done. I can't even tell. I mean, this thing is not cheap from a licensing standpoint, but just the ability to kind of picture something and then find like an asset kit that has, parts of it. Neo San Francisco. I think these are mostly buildings. Oh, there's some cool. So again, projector idea. Slightly different. I like the other one better. These are just roof units, roof vents, some signage, add displays, solar panels, some lights. Nothing's jumping off the page here. No. There's, I think, Neo versions of New York. I guess this one's Cyberpunk. It's funny just scrolling through these two, like certain things pop in my head. Like, I don't want to use this now, but I might want to use this later. And it's good because I can kind of remember it. The signage is, I bought an asset, actually a Blender one I'm really curious about on Blender Market yesterday as a sale, is a neon sign generator. And I don't feel like these neon signs fit the vibe that we're going for with this building, but it certainly would be interesting to play with. By the way, like, this is another thing too, which I don't know if I want to go down this path, but it'd be interesting to do the whole damn thing in Russian or Chinese. I just don't think that I could, it's like risky to try to translate stuff. But that's an option. So here's Neo NYC, bunch of cool buildings, which I was going to potentially use. Unfortunately, no. Oh, there's the Russian flag. Sweet. We're going to just need the Chinese flag. I'm sure there's a Hong Kong or something kit that I can steal that from. Billboards. Like, there's just so much cool stuff. Starlight. This might be useful for the top of the building. Get some light in for our scene. Okay, let's keep going. No. Ooh, Soviet blocks. This reminds me of Command and Conquer. No. Where were we? Outpost, no. Gaia, no. Favelas, no. Maybe we should just take a peek in Los Angeles. There may be something interesting. No, there's not. Okay, where were we? Valhalla, no. Goliath is interesting. I don't know if I saw this one before. These must be just kits that predated. Yeah, these are smaller kits that kind of predated probably the bigger ones. Looks like that was trying to be New York. City streets, no. Lunar base might be interesting. Lots of cool base stuff. Definitely can use this down the road. I think I used something from here too for the base of one of the things. Yeah, these are cool. Not what we want though. Storefronts. We should check. These are cool. Definitely really good for building out a building. Just wondering if they have any kind of like a kiosk or display that would be useful. No. Banner's kind of cool. Grab that. This might be interesting. Could put these on the side with the mission logo. Okay, where were we? So, oh yeah, here we go. I don't know what Arc Vogue is. It's an interesting style that I haven't really explored. There's no like way to go back in this tool. Oh, this is crazy. There's so much stuff here, man. Oh my God, there's so much. Okay, this is futuristic streets. This could be really interesting. Garden area. Hey, this is really cool. We're gonna grab this one. Damn, there's so much interesting stuff here. Like, look at this thing. This is gonna drive me nuts. Road signs, gas stations, entrances, work pods, elevators, control towers. This is so cool. Trains, cul-de-sacs, security booths, seating, kiosks. You could have like a whole setup. Train carts. This is crazy. Oh, monorail track. We're gonna use this on the road. I have some ideas. Chairs. Okay, that's it. Okay, so where were we? Futuristic streets. Okay, so Neo Dubai. Just probably all Dubai. Oh, these are interesting though. Some of these. Nope. Okay. Oh my God, there's so much. Oh, there's too many. Brooklyn, Shanghai, Secret Lab. Don't think so. No. Oh, these are ships. Oh, this is cool too. Don't think we need any of this though. I've got my own plan for the space part. I saw one though that was interesting. Aftermath is interesting too. Okay, Neo Tokyo might have some really cool stuff. No, it doesn't. Interesting. Okay. Oh, because it's Neo Tokyo too. Where were we? Skip Sky. I can't help myself now. I'm just like kind of curious. Just to scroll through everything just to see. Okay, nothing there. I think we're getting close to the end, hopefully. Yeah, okay. This Neo Shanghai, this is where we get the Chinese flag. Crane, no. It better have a flag in. Okay, this is cool. But again, we can't do anything. Yeah, there's too many, eh? Yeah. They can't do anything with this because this could say anything. I'm kind of annoyed they don't have a flag. I'm gonna just do a search for it after this. So where were we? Neo Tokyo? No. Neo Shanghai. Brutalist? No. Although there's some aspect of brutalism in the architecture plans I have. These are kind of cool. No. Okay. Almost done. Where were we? Brutalist. Every city. Highways, Roman Empire, future slums, no. Utopia, we did. Industrial Warzone, Victorian, Art Deco, Neo Tokyo. So let's just look at Neo Tokyo quick. No, that's a bad version of Tokyo. It's just regular buildings. Okay, last one was, there was one here that kind of caught my attention. I was like, I should look at least every city. Oh, I think it's all standard stuff. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go to models. I'm just going to type flag and see if we get other country flags that I missed somehow. German, American, British, Russian, Canadian, French, German, Russian. No respect for China. Okay, well, we'll have to get our own. Okay. So I don't know what I imported, honestly. I think I missed half of them. So we'll just go back to download it, and if we miss something, we'll bring it in. So we have, the kiosk was really the main one that I thought was the most interesting. And then, all the stuff around it. These styles all kind of fit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's like an X-ray. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They all, like, there's enough here. We just have to kind of get the composition right. Just check on my phone. I'm gonna stop and get something to eat here soon. Okay. Okay, so I don't know which ones I brought in, but I'm going to kind of go look at the scene, and then we'll start to kind of organize everything around the composition. So this is the camera. We're going to duplicate this one so I have a separate, I can keep the original. And then I think I'm just going to do is set camera to view. And I'm just going to start to kind of explore a little bit. So we can move off camera here, which is nice. We can rotate to a side view. So this is one composition option because we still get the rocket, right? And we can put the logo here, We still get the full rocket, and then we could put some type of kiosk here. I just have to think about it. And then this is not interesting here as well. So I think this is probably a good first option. Because the other option is just like a straight down the hall with maybe like the actual, like probably the Sputnik stuff. Let me show you what I meant by that. So this was the other one I was thinking about. So this one was like way down the hall, and you know, the rocket's kind of actually cool here because you really get the like crazy perspective. And what I want to do with this one is do like a 135, and then like as if I was way down the hall. I'm probably gonna have to move. Hold on, I'll move the camera this way. So this is as if I was like way down the hall with like a 135 millimeter lens, which I have. So I'm very familiar with it. I just have to find the camera. So you can see where the camera, you can see the cameras here, right? So camera 1 is offset. This is the other one. And then the third would be like, I mean, as far as we could get away with. So say like way down here. And then we would bring the camera here. And we would bring it probably way down. So this is what's so crazy about like my love for Blender and 3D is like every photographer knows this compression thing and how fun it is to get like a high compression shot. But it's cool to be able to do it with your own creation with like unlimited freedom. So if I was standing, you know, basically just off the ground and shot at -90, and, you know, location wise, I was probably here. Yeah, I don't know where I would be, but that, like, what's so crazy to me, hold on, is that right there. So like, look at what's going on. It's compressed, right? And we're all to scale here. So let's compress that rocket to the point where like all we're seeing is the engine. Like we're barely seeing anything. And it's so crazy. Like 200, right? 400. That's what you would see. So you just imagine like being down the hall with like a crazy zoom lens and you're shooting it. And this is what you would just see is like, that's literally the rocket booster all here. It's nuts. So we would do something like this, and we would probably, you know, maybe a little closer, maybe here. And then we just sort of set up and we have no lighting in this building at all, but we would probably set this pretty low. And then we would rotate it up. Yeah, it's pretty nuts, right? It's given me, I can't even tell you the feeling it gives me, because it's like, I'm picturing this, like how crazy it would be to have a rocket. Like I've gone to NASA, to Cape Canaveral, and I've gone to Starlink, or to Starbase in Texas, and I've been to Blue Origin in Texas. So I've been to 3. The only one I haven't been to, which maybe would be good inspiration, is the Virgin Atlantic one, because I don't really consider them a space company. But I mean, this is just like the dream. Like to get that close to a rocket in a building where you could look out and see it is insane. The problem is you couldn't, you know, the blast would be too much from there. But I don't know, who's to say, right? Technology wise, could you craft that building in a way where it could handle, you know, the rocket? I don't know. Who knows? Put the rocket into the ground, could elevate, I don't know. There's lots of ideas, but it's cool to kind of imagine it. But you can see, look, like the entrances here, how small they are. Here, how small they are. The only issue with this shot is like I almost want to just render this shot for the sake of rendering it. I thought about doing like a brochure for this episode. because I thought it would just be cool to have all these different views, but that's my light that looks great from my other angle, but does not look good from here. Yeah, you could have pop-up blast shields, or, I don't know, like, again, we're living in fantasy world, but like the way that this is curved, what if you had a properly curved glass? And I mean, again, glass would probably melt, but what if you had a material that was like glass that had a proper curve where it would, like, instead of it hitting the building, it would ride up the building? It's another option, right? But this is why it gets really fun, because we're living in our own imagination right now. So I love this shot. I just don't know if it would work, right? We can just add a light here to see what the ground would look like, but I don't feel like you could put a welcome station in here very well. I could be wrong. Right, so you can start to see it lighting up. And this is like where the photographer side comes in, because, you could do, this would be an interesting shot. Maybe we do both, who knows? This would be an interesting shot because you could put like a hologram here and it would be like super focused, and you could have this blurred in the background, and you'd really get the perspective of like this rocket. Because even though this is the original rocket, it feels way bigger. And if you put like Sputnik, which is actually part of this model, in here, it would be really kind of a cool, this would be a cool shot. But you really wouldn't be able to put much more detail. You can still put the sign though. So anyway, let's do this. We're going to name these. We're going to say this is going to be E long lens. Oh no, yeah. This one is main hall. I like this one too. Main hall. Offset. You can see, like, when you set up a scene like this, how exciting it gets, because instead of setting it up, from one perspective, that rocket, I didn't even think about it. It's just so perfectly positioned outside. Like, even the way that light, like, it's, again, the IOR of this is probably reflecting back to here or something weird. I don't know what it's doing. It's like the light's bouncing off the first glass, and then it's getting reflected, and then going off the second. So it's going like up then down. So it's like showing stuff in a weird spot, but there is a light back there. It's just not that position. Anyway. And then this is the main one. So I'm thinking right now, this is probably my favorite in terms of what we could do with the composition. And then this one is, I'm really digging this. Oh, sorry. This is the observation deck. That's a cool one too. It's where I have to use my bit of my discipline, because my brain is going to like a little brochure, like make like multiple pictures and graphics, and use ChatGPT, like DALL-E, to make the art, and then maybe mint an NFT, and then you get, with that NFT you get the brochure or something. You can download a PDF, but I just don't have time to be thinking too crazy. Okay, let's kind of figure out this kiosk situation. So first thing is, let's go outside, and I know we know either way the kit is going to probably be up here. So let's kind of establish something for some perspective. So if we add a cylinder, we bring it down to like reasonable level. So, if we bring, say something like that, this is what it looked like from Yeah, this is what it's going to look like from here. So you get an idea. And then from here, it's going to look like that. And from here, it's going to look like that. So I would say anything we would make would probably be, let's set it up for this camera, right? You know, so it might be like something like this, maybe a bit smaller. It's hard to say. But let's just say it's something like that. So it would be off to the side for this one. But I have an idea. I have a bit of an idea. So if I go to this, obviously it's going to look weird because it's so off. Oh, no, wait. No, it's dead center. What am I talking about? Yes, it's dead center. So there's the kiosk there. And obviously, we can move this closer and we could adjust this. We just have to pick the camera angle. I'm just kind of curious what it would look like from here. And we could also, with this camera, we could just as easy duplicate this, set this as primary, and then we could drag this camera way up, like say here. That's pretty cool, right? You know, this would be a really cool composition like that. We could just see the walkway. We could put someone up here. And then, you know, we're not limited to this, right? That's 85 millimeter. That's pretty cool too, right? So you can see how if you have photography background, your brain is like just obsessed with, but you're so limited. Like you're just, it's like when a photographer goes somewhere and we shoot like, you know, 2,500 photos. You're like, what was I thinking? Like, why couldn't I just lock in a shot, you know? And that's sometimes like not always, but a sign of like professional versus, you know, amateur is like professional, has a plan, sticks to it, doesn't need 1,000 shots versus an amateur gets obsessed and just takes like everything from every angle. This is a little bit of what I'm experiencing on the 3D world right now, right? Is like how to make a decision and hold it so you're not going to keep coming back and changing things. Because right now we're good, but when we start to switch camera angles, it's going to matter, you know, whether we're shooting this one, which I think this one is way better than the last one. This is a way better shot than the last one there. So this is definitely an improvement. And then this is our offset. So it's probably between that last one and this. So we gotta make a decision. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick break. I need a quick snack. So I'm gonna grab something to eat. Probably take about 10 minutes and I will be back and we're gonna start to model out or kit bash model, whatever, figure out a plan for the kiosk. And then just as this little side note, this is perfect for the logo and perfect for the sign. So sign here, logo here, and it's just all going to fit. Versus this one is a little bit more difficult because we can put the sign here, but there's nowhere to really put the logo. So this is the most practical. The other one just looks the coolest, I think. Okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks for joining, and yeah, be back in a second. Okay, we're back. Hopefully I didn't wreck the webcam. Okay, it's working. Nice. All right, so just back to work here. Okay, so just if you're just joining, quick composition thing, right? We're kind of between this lens and this view, and this one. Sorry, this one. And I think like this one is definitely more effective for what we're trying to tell with like the assets that we're trying to bring in. But the other one I think is cooler. So we might just kind of set this up and then maybe we'll adjust things as we go. Okay, so these are our assets that we just brought in. I'm just going to call this kiosk. And then I'm just going to sort of see where they went because I don't actually know. Okay, they all went out here. So let's see. If we select all the objects and bring them here, what happens? They moved. Aha, okay. Ooh, all right, their scale's a little bit off. That's fine, let's bring them down. Okay. Here's all of our random stuff. Okay, so I'm trying to just remember now what I was thinking for each one. So, oh, I think there's even more than I realized. Oh, that's the main. Okay, so this was this is the rooftop. So this was potentially to put up in the roof for additional light. So I've actually, you know, we'll just put it back here. I don't know if we'll need it or want to use it at all, but I'll just put it up here for now. I think we're gonna open up this actually. This is gonna let in more light anyway. This is the kind of the rooftop thing, and I hadn't quite figured out. Oh, that's cool. I didn't mean to do that, but I think I just killed everything. This is that shortcut thing I complained about on a couple streams ago. Turn off the atmosphere. Okay. I did something again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what I was saying is that we have up here, we have this lookout, and I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with it yet, but if we want to let more light in, which is probably going to be good for the scene, we can just knock out some of these panels. It's just, it becomes very difficult to, there we go. It becomes like very, very difficult to, navigate some of this stuff. So we're just deleting these. I think if we did anything with this anyway, we would probably do it. Okay, so now we have to be careful because these panels are, ooh, this is gonna be weird. These are actually the roof panels. So you can see that, I guess we can just kind of get rid of some of them. Oh. I don't know if that's an opening. Oops. Yeah, let's go back. See what I mean, though? It's like really hard to work with this stuff because you can't see in. And you can, I know you can hide, you know, you can hide certain panels. And then it's just, I don't know if it makes life that much easier. Okay, so let's delete this. And now we have these ones. And we just delete all these. And I think that's that. This should open it all up. Yep. So now this is what it looks like inside, which might not even be in our shot, but it's going to add light. So if we light the outside, if we put like a midday, if we end up doing like a midday shot and we want to have the sun coming in like with some sun rays, we can probably hit that up pretty well. Okay, so let's go through some of the stuff that we've got here, these random things. So this was just our reference. We could probably hide this for now. And we've got this sculpture. Okay, hold on. Let's get rid of the annotations. Okay. And let's get rid of the cameras for a second. Okay, so here we go. So we have this one here. This is going to be very hard to work with. Let's separate this for a second. Bring it down. We got this kiosk. I think this one is... Yeah, this is... another kind of animation. What is that? Okay, that's that. This is a neon sign. Okay, so that's... I don't think this is going to be useful. It's cool. But it might be a good reference point. So let's bring this to... Let's bring this all the way down to here. It might act as a nice just reference point for us to figure out our actual sign. So, whoa, it's a long way. This building is way bigger than, like, it's like, utopian size. Like, it's just massive. So it kind of throws off your perspective. Because, like, if you actually look at how big that is, that's massive. Like, if you think of a person being maybe, well, you can see from the entrances, like, so there's the doors. So there's a person, right, for reference. So you really get a feel for how big that building is. Like, it's like a World Fair size building. Just have to keep it in mind when you're placing stuff. So basically this is going to go out here. It's still far away. Okay, there we go. So this is the future home of our sign for the Lord of the Skies. So I'm not sure why that's not showing up. I don't know if it's just the light loading. Oh, because it's facing the freaking wrong direction. Over here. Turn it around. Focus in. It's now outside. Bring it over here. Bring it over here. Focus it in. See what I mean by, like, really hard to even understand where certain things are in this building. Okay, there it is. Like, really must be frustrating to watch this. Okay. There we go. And then we'll tilt it down a little bit and bring it in, and then we'll just sort of line it up. Oh, maybe not. That's probably good. I think it's kind of funny that it says laundry right now. Launch. See, we could just turn that into a C. This is interesting stuff because this is not going to be modeled in any way that you can replicate it. It's a pure, like, see, it's a pure model. But I think just like the idea with the writing and stuff, we can figure out a way to do it. It's not that complicated. It's just a curve in the shape, and then we'll get it all. But it is nice. It would be nice if you had the same template. You could put whatever text you wanted. Okay. Back to our other camera offset. So now you should be able to see it here. Yeah, there it is. So you can just imagine, again, kind of part of this process of using these pre-made assets really helps with, like, is going to look sick when this is Lord of the Skies. And then, yeah. Okay. So let's see what else we have. So these ones are kind of similar in that these are the Eyes on Earth concepts, which I would probably replace with Eyes on Earth, the animation that I made. I don't think these would be in the building. I could maybe see like this one being over here. You know, I don't know if you'd want to block the view, but it'd be kind of interesting. Depending on like the sight lines, you could maybe put it lower and bring it up and then have it sort of just blocking this part, but I don't know yet. It's maybe it goes outside, you know, maybe it's just sitting out on the tarmac. Okay, so where's our camera? So here's that. Okay, so for this one is the one that was the most promising. We're going to bring this over here, and we're going to bring this down. And then this one is just a TV. So I don't know yet what I would want to do with this. I'm going to just hide it for a second. This is a kiosk. Yeah, it never works. This is a kiosk, so, you know, this could be maybe somewhere in the foreground, potentially even. So you can see it's coming closer to the camera. Now we'll turn the cameras back on. Extras. And in fact, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this camera because we know we're not going to use it. And this camera. No, sorry, this camera. And yeah, so now this is our primary camera. You can set it up to wherever you want. Like that. It's fine. So now with this, again, with the roof situation, it's kind of annoying, but if you look at it from this angle, you can see the camera, so you can now move it up once it's on the ground and kind of get a feel for, you know, what it would look like if it was close by. Right? So we could potentially use this in the foreground. One thing I always forget to do is just, you can adjust the lens shift. It didn't do great though. So what it's doing is it's fixing perspective, right? So that's like normal, and it's trying to straighten it, but that actually looks terrible. So we're going to turn that off. And there's different ways to do that, but like that's typical camera correction that you would do in like Lightroom or Photoshop. But just, you know, keep this here for a second as we sort of figure this all out together. Okay, so let's go back in. This one, I want to look at this again by itself, just to get my perspective. Yeah. I don't think this is useful. If anything, I would use maybe, you know, the projector, which again, I can use my own, and this, and like, I'm kind of curious if I could adjust. This is pretty cool though. Shader. Just gonna go see what is in here. So the lines are, I think I need a bit more room. I sort of got something's taking photos on. I don't know if it's this music or if there's something else going on. I hear like a photo every few seconds. Let's see. I had a good space. Little sci-fi background. You hear the camera? What is that coming from? Oh, it's like my NFT was playing in the background. So this was playing in the background, and there's a camera sound right here. So you hear that? And it was just literally playing on repeat. So every couple seconds I'd hear camera. It was driving me nuts. Okay, let's close this. So anyway, all I was just checking. I swear now I'm hearing double music. I guess not. Is what's driving the emission of this. So that's the emission. Okay, so that must be all it is. So it's just the maybe not. Hollow lines. Hollow planet. Yeah, okay. So that's that, which is cool. It's weird. Blender's back to not showing me whatever image I click on again. That's like an intermittent thing. Anyway, this is cool. I think I could do something with this, and I wonder if I could end up just putting the orbits. But it's definitely like a detail thing. I don't feel like it fits. Or we could get rid of these other aspects and just keep, like, I don't think we're going to need this. So we could just keep this aspect and this aspect and use it. Okay. This is a Canon kiosk for an NFT. It's for an NFT project. Sorry, no, that's not what it is. Okay, so Kelsey, this story. So a 30-day art project. Turn this down a little bit. I'll give you just a quick overview. So yeah, 30-day art project. So this is piece number 15. And we're kind of telling a story. I don't give too much of it away, but essentially I'm kind of touching a little bit on this idea of like digital data, identities, archives of our prior life. So it's sort of this like runs a little bit of a scenario of what would happen if, Earth ended, what would be left to sort of tell our story to future civilizations. So there is this sort of ongoing theme. It starts back here. This was the past. And then this first one was a video I did, kind of a message to people out there, to ourselves, about, preserving our identity and data and all the stuff. This was a 3D render of the Svalbard seed vault, which is sort of replicated with some ledgers. So it kind of tells the idea of like archiving all that stuff and preserving it. And then I introduced this little device called the Soul Vault, which is like in my head. It's this like little canister that survives 10,000 years with like little holograms showing all the different things that civilization has gone through, like all the steps, from like evolution to like discovering fire to discovering the microchip, all the way through, and then all the possible ways we could destroy. Yeah, this was one of the episodes I made this Aurora from scratch, which was kind of weird. So this is my own Aurora, fake Aurora that I created. And then I did some promo product videos. So this is the packaging for this Soul Vault idea. So you get it in your house and it comes in this like crazy organic style bubble wrap. It takes forever to load this on OpenSea. I should put them on a website. Anyway, it just spins. It's got this kind of cool organic Like it reminds me of those like bubble jackets. You remember? So it just and then it's got the little front thing with ETH address, the name, the whole detail. So you'd buy one of these devices and you could upload all of your like your DNA, all of your memories, your photos, your videos, everything you've ever gone through, and then you could like plant it like a time capsule, like a seed. It's even kind of shaped like a seed. And then this was like the promo video that I made for it. So this is one of the days we did this one. You'll like this. We'll have to one day talk about, I don't know why I can't play it, but we're going to have to talk one day about maybe making some promo stuff for clients, for brands. Yeah. So this is the little promo video. Check this out. It opens up and the camera shows like off all the features. And tungsten base. It's got, do you remember Weebles? Do you remember the Weebles that were like those, like devices that would always like flip up no matter which way you put them. So this has got a tungsten base, which you know tungsten Dow. So it always self balances. And then this is the power unit, which runs off of like nuclear energy. And this is the synthetic DNA, and then a holographic projector, little processor, and then a little control unit that you would use for collecting samples or viewing stuff, and then a little lock at the top with like a touch ID. And then these are all the holographs, holographic hieroglyphs of the story of humanity. And so that's like what was one of the episodes. There it is. And then I did a little DNA. So this is synthetic DNA, a little animation of how DNA grows. So this has got like the real match pairs for the DNA sequence. It just sort of does this little cool animation. Then I put this hologram in. So this is a boat that my grandfather gave me. So I did a 3D scan of it with my phone back when I was at home. And then I converted it to this like little hologram and put it inside of this device. So when you open the device, this is what it's like inside. It's got this like glass, like stage almost, and then a little projector, and it projects up whatever objects you scanned. So your memories, whatever. And then I did this one, which is nostalgia. It's got some music in it. It's got kind of a cool vibey soundtrack. This is all like stuff from my childhood. You probably remember all this stuff too. The Game Boy, Rubik's Cube, Nintendo 64. And what's crazy about this piece is if you look at it, Kelsey, like they go to opposite directions. It's like an optical illusion. I don't know if it shows up on the stream, but every time I look at it, it starts going counterclockwise and then it flips to clockwise, and it's totally by accident. Yeah. So this was a cool one because all the collectors got to pick their favorite, and then I gave them a separate piece that they could have in their wallet. Well, I'm going to do it at the end of the month. So Tamagotchi, and then the last one, Etch a Sketch, and then yeah, it's crazy, right? And it was by accident. There's the Furby. So every time I look at it, it flips directions, and I don't know why or how. So that was kind of the beginning of that series of like the holograms in this product that I was kind of foreshadowing that it was stored in this vault in Norway, which is a really cool place I want to go to at some point. And then I started getting into the neighborhood, this is a neighborhood in Brooklyn. So, well, you probably know New York City for Brooklyn, but this is like the corner of Flatbush and Fulton. So downtown Brooklyn, where like the Apple store is, and there's this massive building called the Brooklyn Tower. And so this is using like real data from the street maps. So it's got all the real buildings, all these buildings, and this layout is like it's actually downtown Brooklyn. It's like real heights, real distances. It's dead accurate. And then you can see it's inside the projector. So we're sort of telling that story. And then I made up my own condo building. You'll like this. So this is the 69th floor. So this is the view from that neighborhood overlooking Brooklyn. So there's the Brooklyn Tower, Manhattan, the skyline, all real street data, all real buildings, like all set up together. And then the little holographic projector with the boat, and then sort of the patio of this building. I'm almost done. And then, what is LS? What does that say? And then, Hey, Monart. How you doing? Do you know what's so crazy about that condo building? I'm so proud of that. That's like an actual potential building in Brooklyn on this literally the 69th floor, which is one floor higher than the second tallest building in Brooklyn. And that's the actual view if they built a 69 floor building at that exact location at the corner. So it doesn't exist yet, but it could really actually be a condo one day. And then if it ever is, it'll be hilarious because it'll be that exact view, the exact lookout, exactly the same. And it is probably 69,000 a month. I looked up in that building, I looked up condos and I found like for 3,500 US, I found literally a closet. It's just like it's like a closet. It looks at the back alley. It's nothing, but it's in downtown Brooklyn. And then same building. This is a video. Oh, it's going well, Monart. How is the calendars? Yeah. Monart, you're doing. Remind me again. You're doing. Oh wait, were you doing the cosplay? Were you creating cosplay stuff, or were you doing graphic design? I'm trying to remember. I think you were doing the cosplay stuff, right? You're supposed to be studying. Anyway, Kelsey, we've had like different people join, like writers. We have people join that are, photographers, videographers, doing different art, and we usually just kind of chat, talk about what people are working on, and hang out. So I'm just showing Kelsey where we got to, where we're at. So this was a moon animation, Kelsey. So you're starting to see the connection. It starts to come together. So now this is the view from the patio as they sort of walk up and look out the telescope. And then I did the moon. So this is the actual 3D render of the moon with real data from NASA. And then I did this workshop, which is from the view from the 69th floor. So you can see the moon in the background, Manhattan, the building. And then this is kind of was like a end of an act, let's call it, in the story. So this is like the condo building with all the papers. Like this is real Google Docs of all my like plans and ideas and roadmaps. And then there's the video, there's the vault, there's all the maps of the potential space launch that's coming up. There's a Soul Vault in the box with all the packaging. There's one on the table. There's a script here. I won't give that away, but that's for a potential thing. There's the little controller. There's the DNA sample hooked up to the what are those things called? Microscopes. And then Kerbal Space Program, which is kind of like a fun video game people use to teach themselves how to get to space. That's there. And then yesterday we did this. So this is the space launch. So this is this same facility. And this is the view of the launch pad the night before the launch. So I did that render yesterday. So that's where we are. And this is the view from inside this building. So this is like kind of like a launch facility, like we call it like a cosmoport. And now I've moved my camera inside and I'm just experimenting with different compositions and what to put in here. So I want to put like the logo of the building that I created, which I used AI to create. And then this sign is going to say Lord of the Skies, because the Cosmoport is actually, you'll find this interesting, Kelsey. This is a Kontangri mountain range on the corner in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and China. I don't know if you've ever come across this it's like one of the hardest places to reach, but it's a crazy cool. It's like if anyone in the world's been here, it's probably you. This is it, Kontangri mountain range. It's pretty awesome. So I kind of imagined what it would look like if a rocket launch facility was in the middle of this mountain range. It's pretty wild. Do you know, had you heard of this one? It's pretty crazy. I was looking at it on like Google Earth. It's one of the coolest like little setups. I'll show you why I picked it. So you know you have like the imagination for this stuff. Like this is Kontangri right here. And like obviously there's like glaciers on both sides, like just nuts, right? But look at this little spot. It's like this like cool, literally like an island in the middle of, it sucks because Google Earth has this weird green hue, but it's this little island in the middle of like all these glacier flows. like glacier, 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 glacier. There's just like this one little thing here. The rest of it is all disconnected, which I've never really seen before. Like literally there's like a great glacial road. Literally it comes down here and it like takes a like split. Like look at that. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know if maybe you have, but just it seems crazy. I don't know which way it would have came from. Anyway, this little thing was really interesting to me. And if you look at it, it looks directly at looks exactly at Contengri. And this mountain range is actually at the corner of Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, China, which is really, really interesting. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So anyway, that's where we put the rocket launch. So this is the actual terrain. And you can see I just sort of dropped my rocket facility in here. It's so nerdy. It's so ridiculous. Sometimes I just talk about this stuff and I'm like, I can't believe this stuff comes out of my head. Anyway, this is the rocket launch facility. So you can see it lines up so perfectly with the mountain. And then you have this sort of like thing here. And then the rocket facility is on a track. So the rocket can come out. The building comes out. And you can actually change your camera angle. So we can go to this view. You can see this is what it would look like on the outside. You get kind of this perfect. Now the mountain has no texture or anything. I got to eventually like actually texture it, make it look right, but kind of a cool vibe with the mountain. It looks almost exactly like the rocket. And then you can go like inside. Oh. Let's see. That was the view we had before. So there's like this view, which is from the top, from the observation deck, looking out at the rocket. And it's all like kind of messed up the way the view is, just because it takes forever to load. And then there's one down here in the lower lobby. So you get a feel for, like, you can just see the size, but you can also see the whole mountain range behind it. And then this is what I was talking about. Like, so I was showing the view. So I was trying to come up with a cool view from inside the building. So I was showing that like this view here was the one I'm currently working on, which I'm trying to figure out how this would set up. So I want to put a logo up here. I want this sign that says Lord of the Sky. The Lord of the Skies is the nickname for that mountain for Contengri. It's called Lord of the Skies, which is like so perfect for this. So I was going to come up with like how to lay out this scene at the bottom to sort of show the rocket in the background with like the layout of the front. So I was trying to figure out composition and camera. And then I was showing people I really like this composition, but it doesn't make sense for the shot. But like a super like 85 millimeter lens at the end of the hall. Forget all this stuff kind of needs to be hidden, but you get this like crazy compression of the rocket, which I think is really cool. And if this says like Lord of the Skies with like a cursive font, I think it's going to look sick. So I don't know. I'm kind of like between it. I think I'm going to probably render out this shot because I think it looks really cool. But I kind of want to set up the whole view here because I want to put some interesting, you know, I should just render this out. This looks sweet. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm currently working on. So I've been using ChatGPT to generate some ideas, and so check this out. So we generated a logo for the Cosmoport. So I'm going to use that in the scene. And then this is the Lord of the Skies thing. It doesn't come out perfectly, but that kind of font, I don't know, it's like Flyer or something. I don't know if you get into graphic design stuff. Well, maybe Monart, you can give me advice. Like this font, it's like, I remember it's like on the old, like a Dalton, what is it called? Dayton Flyers. It's just like this kind of it's not like kind of cursive, but it's not serif, I guess. I don't know what it is, but I just like the vibe of it. So I might try to generate me more sign options for Lord of the Skies. And ChatGPT does a really good job with text now. So you actually can get proper writing pretty close. Sometimes it just doesn't come out right, and then you're sort of stuck. You have to go to Photoshop and fix it, but get some cool ideas. Okay, back to the work. That's what I'm doing. Riveting stuff, right, Kelsey? Of course, it's nerdy as fuck. This all makes sense one day, Kelsey. It all makes sense. Okay. So anyway, I'm just working on composition right now. So if you feel free to hang out, but don't feel obligated to stay. But if you have any thoughts on this as I go, just tune in. It's like, yeah, Ian, I appreciate it. It's like the old days that, you know, people like have to comment on other people's Instagram stories and stuff for reach. On streams, you just have to stay on the stream for 2 hours to help. That's all you got to do. It's easy work. I do appreciate it. I've had people, I know Ian's done it sometimes. I've had other people that just like literally fire up the stream and go do something else, but it helps for I guess like the algorithm stuff. Okay. Let's get rid of this thing. Let's focus on this kiosk. So I think a cool idea on this would be to just duplicate it and rotate it 180, and just put them back to back. Just because it will then, I think it'll center it pretty much in the scene. So if I'm shooting from that far angle, I think it could be pretty much dead center. Oh, I just realized, oh, there's a duplicate here. Oops. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, I think that is closer. And then, I mean, I could knock out the middle glass too and just make it like kind of one thing. I feel like this is gonna work from here. I don't quite know. It'd be nicer if it was facing this way, but yeah, maybe that ends up being it. I don't think it really. My wanting it to make sense from like multiple angles is sometimes a little bit too. Yeah, there it is down there, right? So far away. But cool nonetheless. I think from this camera, it makes sense. And I think ultimately that's what I really need to focus on. I think that it being underneath looks good. I think if anything, like even if I brought it closer to the camera, actually, no, this is probably the way to go. I think the sacrifice to be able to really read this and be able to put, like, I can put my own text on that, is worth it. And I think for now, I will probably just hide this one because I think it's causing background. And I can decide what to put behind it. But I have some options now for stuff on the front. Like I could put something on this table. I also you still use this kiosk, which I haven't quite decided. Obviously it's too big, but just thinking through some perspective stuff here because let's see what this one looks like. So this is like okay, so I could put whatever in that. This is just nice. It's just the perspective is really off. And I think that even if I bring it down and bring it close to the camera, I think it's going to look weird. It's just too close to the camera. Right? Because like, if you think of like your cameras here, you're kind of shooting up to get the whole rocket. There's a bit of room. Like I could move this over a bit and I could probably tilt it down slightly. I just don't know if there's going to be a spot. Maybe this will work. Like, is there a spot where this looks okay? I don't like it blocking the rocket. Like it just seems too staged to me. Hey, I don't know, Kelsey, if you're still here, but remember Alpine? She's behind me. Let's see if I can get her to come around. Hey, she wants to go outside. I know, right? She has that effect on people. I mean, you only saw her for a short time. See if she'll stop. She's got this thing where she doesn't drink all day, and then once a day she drinks a liter of water. Alpine. Alpine. Look, stay. Alpine. Oh, she's gone. Oh, there she is. She's gone. Thanks for the algo. One of these days we'll get you to stream. You know, was streaming for a while. I don't know if he is. I think he had a deal with somebody he was doing it for, like client work, was Ted. I don't know what happened. He was on Twitch a lot, and then I think he stopped. I don't know if I think he might have got a deal with somebody to stream. Which is like kind of sad if it is, because it was really interesting. He would talk about his process and stuff. I really was enjoying it. I would join his streams, but I haven't got a notification in a while. We'll get you to, I want to see you edit one day, Kelsey. I want to see you turn your split, like that time you were doing the AI stuff. Oh, nice. Is he still streaming though? I wonder if it was just maybe I'm just missing notifications for him.
Rufus hates being stuck inside.
I don't think he streamed for a month.
Amy saved big at Amazon. Turns out with the right
gear. Yeah, because I watched one of these.
Rufus rips.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Yo.
Yeah, he was.
What's going on, everyone?
It's really, it's interesting. I don't know. It's tough. Like if from an ROI standpoint for a creative, like I don't know if it makes a lot of sense. You know, like it's hard. It's like I've gone down this rabbit hole. Like the audience for people that are doing creative work is so small. Any platform, if you go look at Twitch and you see like how many people are watching non-video game related stuff right now, it's such a small number. So like on one side, okay, it's like an opportunity. You can click on this, see it's people like this. It's like people live streaming hot tubs with no clothes on. It's the most popular. But if you end up with like, so if you go to browse, see like just chatting 365 and then all the games 400, 2K. And then if you get into creative, 12,000 people are watching art. And at any given time, it kind of looks like this. Like this person's got 256. That's a lot. 42, 66, 67. So like on one side, the numbers are just tiny. It might be an opportunity, but I just don't know if people will go that direction. And then depending on content, like for someone doing like your work, Kelsey, like I don't think there's like, okay, so watching you edit a photo, really like if watching you edit a photo, you can just watch like the before and after is just as interesting. Like, you know, people do those, like, here's what it looked like before, here's what it looks like after. My camera's dying. Give me a second. To me, that's way more, like, that's interesting from a photographer standpoint. But like watching you sit there and edit, I think at least 3D, there's like something kind of different going on and you can time lapse it. It's like I record all my sessions, which means I can time lapse them and use them for future like TikTok shorts or whatever. I don't know if that would be valuable on the photography side. Anyway, here's our new artwork, Lord of the Skies. It's interesting. I just want, I would like a plain sign, vector style, something that could go on an actual neon or acrylic sign. Font is good. Yeah. I mean, it's like one of those things, if you got an audience, like if you were sitting there every day, even 100 people were watching you stream, I feel like it would be really... Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. We'll talk about it. Come join anytime or just chat with me. But it's an interesting topic. Say hi to your mom for me. See ya. Okay, let's go. Focus. I don't know what to do with this sign. I mean, I wanted to put some information on here. It just feels misplaced. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board on that and figure that out. This I like, though. I know we can do the logo. These three things together is enough to me for this scene. Maybe I could put a flyer on the ground. I don't know. We could do something. But I think I'm just going to focus on this because I want to keep this really simple for now. And then maybe I can do a different shot. Then I'll do two of these. This one we got to do. Oh, this is kind of... See, this font. If Monart, if you're still here, this is like, I need this. What font is that? Maybe it'll tell you what fonts are this. Oh, interesting. Avant-garde. I'm going to go try this neon. Okay, I'm going to do a bunch of things here in a row. So first of all, I bought a neon sign generator. So I'm going to log in and download that and see if that works or anything. Okay. Shoot, that's the wrong login. Okay. Just bear with me. I'm just downloading this plugin, and then I'll install it and take a look at it. Procedural signs. Okay. It's one of these things where, if it works really well, like if it's a really good plugin, it should look good when I bought it. We could probably have this up and running in, 2 minutes, which would be sweet. And then we could focus on the other sign. But if it's not, if there's like a strong learning curve, I have a bad tendency to go spend too much time learning it. But I feel like for a procedural sign, like how complicated can it be? Maybe famous last words, but it would be a pretty big misstep if they made it. Okay, so it's a plugin. And then looks like we have to install the assets. So I assume we can just extract this. 0.5 gig worth of worth of assets. So there's the folder. Hopefully that works. I don't know if you have to go to like the subfolder. Okay. Let's try to do this without any, any other. Okay, so we have big screen, billboard, LED, light, neon. Okay, so I like this already. Okay. We can add our own text, or we can do SVG, or we can draw. So let's try our own text. Okay. And let's try. Okay, text. Let's say Lord of the Skies. And let's see. Okay, we don't have any fonts, so we'd have to get. Well, let's see how this looks with Arial first. Painted text. I don't know what that is, but we'll figure that out. This is the neon color. Okay, this looks good. I like this. And it uses geometry nodes, which is good. Okay, it's got animations, which is cool. That would be pretty cool. Okay, so that's really neat. Base, depth, bevel. Okay, I like this. And it's got wires. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. And these are the presets. It's weird that this doesn't look like a neon sign anymore. Huh. Okay, so now I'm kind of wondering whether didn't it look like this is very different than this. I don't know what the difference between that is and that is. Oh, okay, big screen, billboards, channel signs, LED. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so did it create one already? Okay, it did. Okay, oh, look at that. Okay, so we can open this up. Cursor selected. Selection to cursor. Oh, it's... Okay, this is pretty sick. This is why I love 3D. Just like, I'm going to stop for a second, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this, because it's why I love... This is actually why I'm kind of obsessed with 3D, is that right there. It's just the fact that the sign, I just dropped like a 1,000-foot sign by accident into the middle of the building. And it like lights up the whole building. It looks crazy. It's just like, you're like, your imagination can go anywhere you want. Like, you could put this sign, you could just say, hey, okay, like artistically, let's put this sign, in the middle of the building. Right? Let's just hang it from the middle of the building, and it would be there, right? It wouldn't be in this shot, but it's up there. I don't know. That's just super cool. Okay, let's bring this down. It's crazy, right? It's funny because at some point I got to get it out of my own head and start creating. Actually, what we were talking about, Ted, a little earlier, which, like, what I really love about Ted's work is just the fact that he just really is in his own imagination. Like, the things that he comes up with are so crazy. And sometimes I am like a bit jealous of, I don't know how you describe it. I think it's just like my right side of my left side of my brain is so, just dominates too much. So I can't sometimes let go and do weird stuff. And I want to. I just have to get there eventually. Okay, so let's hide this. I'm super impressed with this plugin already. I mean, I really did nothing so far. And look what it did. I mean, it lays out the neon. It does the text. I haven't changed the font. And we've got text scale, which increases the sign, the scale of the sign. So everything's like it's heavy, but it's also running this in real time. And yeah, like that's pretty crazy. Okay, so let's do. Okay, we want to keep the base. I want to get rid of the hanging wires. Because I don't want that for now. So I should get rid of those things, I think. So what else is there? It's like something else. Maybe it's just the light. Okay, let's just bring this open for a second. This might be a little bit easier to... These are the best plugins in Blender, by the way, if you're a Blender user. Plugins where somebody makes a really complicated geometry node setup where, you know, and they expose like the settings like this and make it super customizable. It's not really a plugin. It is because you can access it here, but it's really just a geometry node. They just made a curve with a geometry node in it and put all the settings here. They just bring it here so that you can, you know, use it a little bit better and you can click on the signs and stuff. But it's not really like modifying any of the core functionality. It's just, yeah. Anyway, okay. So a couple things I'm noticing is there's still wires. So I got to figure out where that's coming from. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're exactly right. So what do you think I should do? I mean, this is so interesting. I want to like just switch these to see what they look like. I don't know what happens though. Oh, it's going to create a new one. Like, I don't know what a channel sign would be, LED sign. Like, I kind of just like the style. I don't know if I want to go crazy. Like, I want to keep this, but I think I would just want to get rid of this beam completely and just push it up against the wall. Unless there's like a different mounting option. Okay, so this is all the neon. This is all neon. Okay, so this is the base. Oh, there's different base types. So this is the mount. This is the mount. Huh. This plugin's amazing. Look at this, Ian. So this is, you nailed this. This is the mount. So if I turn it off, there it's gone. But see how it says mount type? There's one. Oh, that's interesting. I'm just going to kill this over here for a second because it's just slowing it down. So there's another mount type there. There's one like that. This is probably what I would want. Oh yeah, like a little L bracket. Like this is to me, you know, somebody creatively did this and then created the setup. It's brilliant. I'll give them all my money. Like, you know, I want to pay for people like this because the attention to detail. Yeah, like it just, you know, artistically, like, you know, nobody wants to sit here and do this. I would want to make this tool so I could reuse it again and again, but this is like incredible work. I mean, you could put this sign in probably any level of detail and be really happy with it. Like, look at the detail on this is really insane. So this is the side, I guess. So if you have these probably mounts like this, Yeah, that's the side. What is this side? Select. Separation. Oh, okay. So like if you want like, oh, I guess that's for that. Front wall distance. Oh, cool. Dude, this plugin's insane. Like, look at this. You could just do like, you know, probably put it on both sides and mount it like across. It's pretty cool. See it on there? It's wild. Floor distance. Oh, for type 3. So if you put it on the floor, look at that. Man, stuff like this makes me so happy. So I think I'm going to use this mount. Actually, oh, no. Like, I'm not taking anything away. I'm just saying, like, this is enabling that, right? Like, this enables that vision of, instead of sitting here for 2 days modeling the sign, it just enables the vision for it. And it's like the art for me is not the quality of the sign. You know, unless I was trying to do something specific. It goes back to our example we're saying, like, if I'm minting a piece and it's like a neon sign in the middle of a floor, empty room, and the art is the sign, and I just downloaded it, you know, it's like, well, what did you do, right? Okay, so I'm going to see if I can flip. I want to see if I can flip this to the floor one, but can I flip it on the top? Damn. I was hoping that maybe I could. Nope. So maybe I could like hang it, you know? So what was the other types? So there's the side. That's the top. Huh. It's funny that there's none on the back. I guess that's what the L bracket's for. Oh, okay. That's interesting. It doesn't really make sense, but I don't really know. Okay. I think I'm just going to put it without a mount, to be honest. I think I'm just going to put it right on the wall. Optimize. Okay, so this is how you make a preset. Oh, interesting. Oh, this is crazy. So this is the neon sign with different presets, with the different mount options. That's wild. I don't know how you would load that. Probably gonna mess it up. I think I just switched this to this thing. I think I just automatically switched it to. I really should probably haven't saved this file yet. So bad. I don't know what if I just broke something or not. Okay. Well, what did I do? I guess I didn't break anything. Good time to save, though. Okay, well, I'll figure the presets out after. Okay, so really what I want to do is just focus on the text. So I don't want animation. I don't need to bend it, I don't think. We don't need to do any of this. I know. It should autosave. I usually have autosave on every 2 minutes. I've been trying to understand why forever. I can't figure it out. Okay, so I got to find a font. You can't download Adobe. This is like a really annoying thing. I pay for Adobe. I have Adobe fonts. You cannot use Adobe fonts in Blender. It's one of the most frustrating things about using Adobe. So I don't know where do I get fonts? Google Fonts? I don't know how to find this font. It's like, oh, it's kind of like that. It's pretty good. Okay, so that's a good option. What is glyphs? Oh, right. Okay. Ooh. I really don't understand sometimes how you find a font. Like, what do you even search for? You know, like, what do you can't even like describe a font. That was the one that GPT gave me. It said avant-garde. I definitely don't think it's Futura. I think something script-wise. Okay, how do I do that? How do I search for a script font? Handwriting, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Ooh, Pacifico might be. Pacifico might work, actually. I've used Pacifico before. I think it's like a standard font. How do you install a font on Windows? I think you just click it, right? Downloads. Type Foundry, is that what it's called? I think Blender. Yeah. Oh, it's got fonts in here now. Although I don't see it changing. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so how do I get a font? Bang. Okay. What do we want to do here? Character spacing. Text scale. How do we get these little, like, beams in the middle? Whoa. Okay, what is cut separation? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's those interior lines. That's neat. Okay. So it's putting those, I see, it's trying to put them anywhere where it can, where there's a gap. That's interesting. I don't know if this font's going to work for what I'm doing, though. Just because it kind of overlaps. It's pretty amazing how that just, like, you don't even do that. Can't even do that in Photoshop. Like have it just things auto resize that I know of. Okay, I'm going to see how this looks. I don't think this is going to work, but I am curious. If we kind of go to pink and maybe in the middle, what is painted text? Oh, I see. Okay, and then I like these little lines in the middle. Could be my blue. Okay, let's just see how that looks. And then I'm going to have to take a break because I'm starting to get a bit of a headache. Probably to do with wearing this hat. We're just over 2 hours anyway. So yeah, we'll take a break here in a minute. Take the dog out and then come back. Okay, so that's a reflection. No. I'm trying to picture this. Like, I don't know if I want neon as much as I want. Like, this is kind of the hologram. Okay, I'm going to think about this. I'll take my break now. I'm thinking of ideas, including like cutting the window out and having it like on the window itself. I also wonder if it like should be pointed down towards people on the ground because you're going to be down looking up at the rocket. So angle wise, it almost makes sense for it to be like it almost makes sense for it to be tilted. I don't even know if you can tilt this. I guess you can. But this is definitely not the right. Yeah, I think it definitely looks, it's going to look better tilted. Okay, let's just place this in a proper spot. Oops, that looks sick. That's not what I wanted to do. And by the way, if I get rid of the actual launch stuff outside, this would make this performance a lot better, I'll tell you that. So hard to work with. Just realize it's not even. There we go. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. It's just the font and the amount and all that stuff. Really, really cool plugin though. Like I'm really impressed by. Just gives me a lot of options. Okay, I'm going to take a little break, go for a walk. I'm going to say, oh, hey, Summer Primes. Oh, sorry, Ian, it's you still. Just you're switching platforms. Yeah, the Indian type font. Okay, I'll check that out as well and look for some fonts there. I'm going to save this and take a break. I'm going to be half an hour. I'm going to stop the stream and then I'll come right back. So have a good one, guys, and we'll see you on the other side. Ian, thanks for joining as always. Appreciate you, man.